I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today I am in Alabama. I'm in the Bay of Mobile, I believe it is, and this back here is the battleship Alabama. It's the USS Alabama. It served at the end of World War II, and it's been decommissioned. It was built in 1940, or commissioned in 1940, or I don't know, maybe they started to build it in 1940, and then in 42 it actually saw service. So it is an older battleship. Gosh, what does that make it? 40, 60, 70. It's 70 years old. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I didn't even think about that. 70-year-old ship sitting out here. It's huge. And there's a bunch of other stuff out here, too. This is in Mobile, Alabama. And this is Battleship Park. You can look it up if you're in Alabama. And come out here, and it was really cheap to get into the park area. It's $2. I haven't tried getting on the ship yet to know whether or not it costs anything more to get on the ship, but it was only $2 to get in here to where I'm at right here. And there's people fishing off the pier down here and stuff. It just is a really nice place out here. So I got a question here from Matt. He says, I personally started years ago to farm for certain MMORPGs and sell the golden items online. Would you have any recommendations to the current market, however? I'm noticing that a lot of games are blocking such things due to the mass bot farms and such. I am looking to keep an income going for another 2 years while I finish college. However, I'm very paranoid about the law, saying that I'm unable to do this anymore. I farm all of my items by hand, and I flip items in the in-game economy. So should I feel that I have the right to sell to someone the item for real cash? What do you think I should do? Well, okay. So in this current marketplace, there are only a couple places that it is legitimate to do this in. So I believe the games. I'm just pulling this off the top of my head. There may be some more. The games are Entropia, formerly Project Entropia, the Second Life, and then Diablo 3. Now, Diablo 3 is a hot marketplace right now, and so out with Diablo 3, there's actually people that I have verified that in its first month of operation have done more than $10,000 in sales. And then they also have figured out ways to really work the in-game systems and make a lot of money off of this, real life cash. And I don't know how much you need for your next 2 years of college, assuming that you're just doing living expenses. Which, most of you have a college loan that are in college, and so you're just doing living expenses. $10,000 might hold you over for both years. Imagine that, working 1 month and paying for your living expenses for 2 years. It may not, too, but it all depends on whether or not your dorm is covered by, a student loan, your housing, and stuff like that. So, now, some of the interesting stuff that you have to say, there's a lot of other games that do not allow it. And when they say they don't allow it, it's a violation of the end-user license agreement or the terms of service. And it is not, I repeat, not a criminal offense. You cannot be taken to jail for farming items in a video game. You just can't. And you can, however, be sued. And they can sue you for all kinds of money. And they can sue you for like devaluation of their trademark. They can sue you for things like tortoise interference. And they can sue you for disruption of the game. They can sue you for lost revenues because of people who quit because there are people who are buying and selling for real life dollars. There's all kinds of things that they can claim. And in fact, they could even sue you because you're white, because you're black, because you're Chinese, because you're Asian, because you're, Canadian, because you're American, whatever, because a lawsuit does not require really anything to be substantiated in the same way a criminal court works. And so if they decide that they wanted to sue you, they can figure something out to sue you for, something that will get past a judge and allow them to continue with the suit and put the pressure on you, get the press involved, and then and then totally make you give up and use you as an example of why people shouldn't do this in game. So, and in the process, you could lose a lot of money. At the very least, you'll get a slap on the wrist, and at the very most, you will lose millions of dollars and be like in bankruptcy, because obviously as a college student you don't have millions of dollars. I don't think you do. I mean, if you do, you wouldn't be talking about earning this living for the next couple of years of college. So now, that is in the United States. There are a lot of countries also where that applies, but I do know that in Korea now, I read about how Korean law was changing to where it was going to be a criminal offense to bot in the games or to sell virtual items from the games. And I don't know if that was a proposed law or if that was something that was going into effect, but that was in South Korea. So quite interesting. Basically, so stick with my best bet right now is Diablo 3, and to work that one well. There are some other games that will be coming out this year and next that I know of that are planning on supporting real money trade between players. It will be some sort of moderated stuff to where the game company will actually make its money based off of the items that are being bought and sold. And so there'll be a charge and there'll be security. And security is very important with this, because when you are selling on your own to other people, or when you're buying, you don't know if you can trust the other person. And I can tell you that the higher the dollar amount is of the item that you're selling, the more likely you are to get scammed. And then also, I can tell you that just in an accidental test we did with just selling game codes, or an average of $35 each, that we had 50% fraud with one payment method when it went unchecked for about a 3-month period. And so that is something to consider. So since Blizzard has a actual payout method and everything, and I know that they're paying out, I've seen the payments, so in fact I verified on an upcoming interview that I'm working on that a person who is making a living doing it, and they're making a great living doing it. So it can be done, but yes, you're gonna have to put in a lot of hours, and don't forget to do your studies. So, and then, how about this? What's your major? This whole thing of buying, selling, and trading in games and the virtual economies and everything, let's just say you're an economics major. Think of how this could all apply, and how you could apply this to make it a specialty within your major, or to go for your PhD and stuff like that. So, there are a few people that I know of that have gotten PhD in video game related things in these virtual economies, and they are people who end up working in the video game industry because they understand what's going on out there. And there are a lot of economists out there who would understand it, but it's like learning a whole foreign currency. And so if they were used to just dealing with one currency, it'd be like learning a whole nother one. Maybe it'd be as easy as learning a second language and everything, especially if they were not a gamer in the beginning, because they wouldn't know when they got pwned. They may not know when someone was laughing out loud at them or rolling on the floor laughing. They tend to be people who were not gamers, but that's changing. That really is changing these days. So because these games that we're playing, these massive multiplayer games, have really been big time since about 1999, and they just keep growing. So I hope that answers your question, Matt. And so for those of you who have ever had lag issues in your game, I want you to check out What the Fast. I put a link in the description below, and what it does is it will reroute your internet traffic, the pipeline that you take to get to the game server, in an effort to reduce your ping, to reduce the number of hops, and to go through hops that have really, really fast service, that are like fat pipelines. So give it a try. There's a link in the description, and one of you who reply to this, to make a comment on here, I will give you a 30-day advanced key for What the Fast, and so you can try it out on an extended trial, but we're only going to give that away to one of you, and we'll just choose somebody at random. For everybody else, there's a 3-day trial, so you can try it out. Also, we have an upcoming game which you're about to start seeing some videos for called Bust and Rush. It is not the normal type of game we cover, but I have some guaranteed beta slots for it, and in the initial beta, we'll choose one of you as well for that who comments. And just make sure that you accept messages from us. If you don't accept messages, then you can't win this, and because if we can't message you, you won't know. And so if you don't accept messages, then just add Marky Dragon to your contacts list in YouTube, and we will then be able to send to you even though you're blocking everyone else. So take care, everybody, and if you're out here in Alabama, come and check out the USS Alabama battleship. It's pretty cool. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.